Let me hit record. When you hit the record button, we rolling. Come on, man. Zoom. Plus, I gotta mute this thing. Yeah, because this thing will be over talking. All right, we ready. Let's go back to the Zoom and get started. What's up, YouTube? YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel, man. Follow us. Follow the vets. All right. Dark, you got it. Let's go.
You are at the top of the hour, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for another Thursday. You are now listening and tuned in to Sador Presents an Open Conversation. We on it tonight. We are on it tonight. So let's see who we got in the building tonight. Because we always got some fly guests. We got some our known host. I see we got Marc5 in the building.
What's good? What's good? I'm here.
I think we got Simply D in the building.
Yes, sir, indeed. I'm here.
We got Dimitri in the building.
She just smiled.
She just smiled. So it looked like it's just us. It looked like it's just us.
Look, she there though. I don't know because I know she moving. I don't know if she
All right, well,
froze or
she
not.
moving. She always tuned in. Y'all know her from long
Can you
time
hear
ago.
us? Look, wait a minute. Can she hear us? Because she like looking like she don't even hear it.
She said, "Who me?" She talking to the
Yeah,
radio in her
you.
car. You are on mute, boo. You are on mute. Take the mute
No,
off.
no, that's that damn Android. Yeah, y'all done talk junk.
That ain't no droid, baby. That's not a droid.
Look,
Not on a
look.
droid. You just heard it loud and clear. That was Mark hating on
No,
Dimitri because she
Dimitri.
ain't got no Apple product.
Dimitri looked like she on channel 48 in 1980.
Dimitri, get off there. Come on, I'm gonna need some backup tonight, sis.
Look, look.
You still on mute.
No, she ain't on mute. That's the phone. She ain't on mute. You trying to help her out. She trying to make you look talk about you on mute. You ain't on mute, damn it. I see the mic. You ain't on mute. Nah. What's good with everybody? Look.
What's good with everybody? Y'all know this is Open Conversation Presents, and tonight the conversation is going to be about community, how we affect our community, how our community affects us, and are we still considered to be a community?
Damn, that's
Do
a
we
good
still get
statement.
the love and support?
That's a good statement.
Do we still believe that it takes a village to raise a child?
Shit, it take a whole army, a village, and every
It
whole
should
My,
think of
take everybody.
that's what it took back in the day. It was the whole village. We had a whole village of mothers. If the fathers were there, and the fathers helped out. I can name a few like Mr. Winston Hood, um, Abbotsford Projects. Uh, who else was it?
who was in your village? Simply D, who was in your village?
Uh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
I
you.
can hear you.
You good?
Like I said, we had Gloria Porter. We had my mom, Juanita Dennis. We had Miss Audrey Hood. We had Lisa Nelson. We had Miss Cartwell that lived next door. We had Miss Rachel. We had a whole host of mothers on that block that looked out, or in that community that looked out. We had
So you're just saying it was mothers. So we don't need to know their name. Now don't go putting my girl out there, Miss Dennis out there. She ain't need nobody in her business. And Miss Hood, don't nobody need to be in their business. We just know you saying it was a bunch of mothers, right?
yeah, they that looked out.
And okay, you see, we got the storm done moved on into the building. That's why we felt the shake when he came in. We see TC, the storm came in and he shook the building. Because you know when a storm come through, he's going to either tear up some shit or it's going to make it nice. Marc5, who was your village? What do you consider as a village?
I consider a village people that care about their community, people that get involved in their community, people that make sure that they for the people that didn't have their fathers there, that the men no matter what you did, no matter what your if you was a pharmaceutical person or whatever, they just made sure that everybody was good. They protect the neighborhood. Wasn't nobody coming up in our neighborhood just robbing people and walking away like it wasn't nothing because they knew already that, the OGs,
How we
as
doing?
we called them, wasn't having that. They was involved with different people teaching basketball and just being a man and telling people, yo, fix your collar, pull your pants up. None of this stuff that's happening now would have happened back in the day. And you wouldn't get smart with them because you knew that they was the street boys. So when they told you something, you kind of paid attention because you kind of looked up to them as your heroes because that's all you knew. Unless you watched the
Or
18, Michael
or
Knight.
you wasn't getting smart with the street boys' mother, because a lot of
No, hell
times
no.
them street boys, them was they mamas who looked out for the block.
Yup. You're right.
So you're not getting smart with Miss Pauline's son, because Paulina slapped the back. She get her son to beat. You knew that was Miss Pauline's son. You knew not to come out your mouth all crooked. You knew he was one of the black niggas.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It was a
He
different,
was one of
it
the
was a
black
respect.
niggas.
Yeah, it was a respect there.
Right,
And I think that's what we missing because, not saying that some people shouldn't be incarcerated, but once they start incarcerating the people that ran the streets, and I ain't talking about running the street, I'm talking about as far as more so controlled what happened in the streets. Once they start getting locked up and getting older and moving out the way, it seemed like the streets just went crazy.
right. So Dimitri, what did your community look like to you?
Can you hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Doing?
Okay, cool, cool. So my community consisted of my girlfriend's mom, my uncles, and my aunt, and
Okay.
um, and the fathers, they were around, but the moms, they took care, they looked out for the kids on the block. The fathers set the tone. You just knew what not to do. So that's what my community looked like because I lived in several different areas of the city and in
Okay.
other states. In
So
other states.
by you saying that, you just opened up a can. Did you said I lived in several different neighborhoods in the
Mm-hmm,
city. Now, me,
mm-hmm.
I just grew up in one neighborhood. I'm from Germantown, Somerville.
Nah.
That was it. So I knew what mine looked like. So from each neighborhood you went, did the community look different?
No, it didn't look different. I mean, as far as finances, it looked different, but as far as the people, no, it wasn't different. Um, no matter what neighborhood I was in or the economic status of that neighborhood, the neighborhood was clean. I didn't know I lived in the ghetto because the neighborhood was clean. The people went to work. Those who didn't go to work, they still made sure everything on the block was handled appropriately. Kids were told on. Nobody was afraid of, no adults were afraid to correct the children. And if you did nobody had the guts to
The
do it.
door.
I don't care for one person getting crazy with an adult and standing there. They may have said something crazy and ran and went home, but I can't. To be honest, I can't remember it. And I'm talking about from West Philly, Southwest Philly, to West Oak Lane, to North Carolina, South. I can't remember none of that. Even in Newark, New Jersey, I cannot remember seeing a child or a teenager get crazy with an adult.
Okay. Okay, TC, the weather storm. Are you in the building?
So what's going on, fam? It's your big homie TC Caldwell, BKAYBH Storm, and we talking about what the village was like. Well,
What
I'm
did the
kind of like
community
Dimitri.
look like to you? What did your village look like?
My village was we were a community back in the day, so that word is important to me. Um, we were a community. Everybody looked out for each other, like I heard being talked about earlier. You could go to a neighbor's house and ask for something, and you it was a
Stop using that door.
bar,
It's broke. The other one.
it, it was a borrowing system. So what one didn't have, somebody else had. What one needed, somebody else had, and um, everybody worked it out amongst themselves, and there was no shame in needing anything. So I grew up when we were a community, not just folks that lived, on the same block, and I also had family, in all the North Philly projects, um, and like we just said, I couldn't understand being poor, because everybody ate, everybody shared,
Yep.
everybody had. We had the food stamp books if I was living in North Philly, we doing our food coupon thing, and if I was living in Winfield, everything was green coming out the pocket. So um, that made me learn how to diversify, handling money, being without money, having money, and learn how to live with it or without it. Either way, um, having men, having men that were men around. That was Mr. So and so or Uncle so and so, depending on the
Mm-hmm.
relationship. That was Miss So and so and Auntie so and so, depending on the
Right.
relationship. Um, Everybody on the block, we learned our lessons from the generation and above us and the generation above them. So it was passed down, and it was certain things that was a rites of passage. We played wall ball, handball. You played on the basket. If you couldn't get to the courts, we made a court. We played football in the street. Had to wait for the cars to go by. All right, come on. You know, I learned how to play running back, holding on to one of my non-biological brothers' shirt tails, and learned how to follow blocks like that. So by the time I actually started playing organized football, I was a little more advanced than some of the other young boys my age. Um, Money, I don't even know. Again, I can't even say money was a thing because even if we didn't have, we always found a way. I think we did way more sharing then than we did now. Even as youngsters, we learned that if somebody had a quarter, somebody else had a nickel, somebody else had some pennies, we put it all together and got as much stuff as we can and broke bread.
I
Um,
believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah,
Did.
it wasn't, well, I got a quarter, so I'm getting this. You only got a nickel, so you can only get that. Nah, we put it all together,
Right.
and if
No,
everybody
but we
wanted some
did
fun,
say ATC, but we did say no hunks though. No hunks.
We
no, no,
did. We
no,
did.
no, we did say no hunks. No hunks was different because by then, no hunks was in our teenage, our preteen to teenage years. But in our pubescent years, we always used to throw our money together and make it happen. At least that's what we did, in North Philly. We all put our stuff together, and then you know
Exactly. Yes.
everybody ate out. We shared out the same chip bag. Everybody got three. Well, chips bags was way bigger back then, so you might have got 5, 6, 7 chips. Everybody, 4 or 5 of us in the group, and you actually had a full bag of chips. Wop 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 wop. Some now laters. Everybody got now later. That extra joint, you threw it up in the extra joint. You threw up in the sky. Whoever caught that joint, that's who. I mean, that's who it was. And if you won today, you might not have won next time. Or if you won this time, you can't be in it next time because you got your extra already. So we did have more diplomacy back in the day, but we also had more accountability. And we're not gonna sit there and act like, you know, somebody pop wasn't messing with so and so mom down the block, and every so often when they get to drinking and playing cards, it tore off into a confrontation, and we had to, we could take the street, the cars can have a sidewalk. And we were like, what?
So
You know what I'm
who ran the
saying?
neighborhood? Who not so much who ran the neighborhood, but who was the
All right,
overseer of
so
the neighborhood?
all right, so
The old.
for me,
Yeah.
when I was being raised up north, depending on what part of north it was, the Muslims
Mm-hmm.
on Columbia Avenue. The Muslims ran Columbia Avenue from like Broad Street up to Ridge Ave. Um, the hustlers ran it from like Ridge Ave to the park. You had Diamond Street, which was kind of like the same thing, but just like I think we alluded to it earlier, that was also a time where the cats that ran the street also kept stuff from happening on in the street around the way. You know, I remember the drug boys um, on my block. They used to buy the brooms and the bags when it was time to sweep up on Saturdays. They used to give the young boys money to not come out and try to be in the streets. Go to school, finish playing ball. I never forget they bought my basketball team the sneakers. So when Above the Rim came out and certain things was happening, I was like, that's about it. That was right. You know, but
So who
when
was
I
more
lived in Win,
prevalent? Simply D. Who was more prevalent in the neighborhood? Was it the women or was it the men or was it the drug dealers?
It was the mothers. Even the,
Absolutely.
the drug
Right.
dealers, they tried to hide it. They didn't advertise like they do
Correct.
today. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? It was more hidden.
Right. Because I'm sitting here thinking like, I'm be honest with you, my mom probably could get mad, but my my mom's boyfriend at the time, back in '82, he was something else. So, but you didn't, as a child, I didn't know who the drug dealer was, and I shouldn't have known. I knew like where a weed house was or something like that, but I didn't know like, okay, this person over here sell cocaine, this one sell PCP. We didn't know that as a kid. That wasn't part of
The growing up.
something that we.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom's boyfriend, he probably was the one. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, to be honest with you, but outside of, I didn't know he was doing it until we had a family dinner years ago, and our family friends said, "No, we didn't go to a Mary house. Nobody knew what was going to go down on a Mary house."
You
But
ain't
other than
know
we
it
didn't
till
even
he served everybody some cocaine that night, huh? Cocaine. She didn't know it until the whole house was high.
We didn't know, no, because nobody came inside the house to do stuff like that. So we didn't know really what was going on until, like, I'm talking about 40 something years old when somebody disclosed that to us. We knew he was a force to be reckoned with, but we didn't know that he was doing it like that in the house. So what I'm saying is, back then, that wasn't our business as kids.
Right.
I don't know who ran the neighborhood. I just knew that wasn't, as a child, that was not something that I should have known. I know who run the neighborhood.
I tell you, go over there, mind your business. Go play hopscotch. Get over there.
That wasn't. But what I respect about back then is we always had. I always say this: drugs been sold since forever. 1900s, so drugs been sold. What the community kept sacred was how it was being done. And right now, there's no order, there's no decency. It's just total mayhem and disarray. The kids are running the neighborhood, period, point blank. People are afraid of them. And I'm gonna say this because I prayed about this conversation because I know I can go in.
Go in.
We have men. The friends of the men I know are men. Like they don't talk. But the men, you have these men on these social media podcasts hating women with children, talking about F them kids, don't date a woman with a child. So basically abandoning the children in the community, not trying to help, just talking, just reckless. So now these children are grown or in their teens, and you mad because they're being disrespectful. But you disrespectful. Like I don't understand. I've never heard so many, and I'm going to say it, black men get on a social media page and laugh at women who have children. When do y'all start? Well, when did they start doing that? That's insane to me. So fuck kids.
On social media and laughing at women with children.
Yes.
So who they think made these? Who they think made these babies?
Or they say to women, "Oh, you chose them," and you know, I'm gonna let somebody else speak as this. They say you chose them, and yes, you chose them. I want to say to women, if you're not pregnant right now, stop. Just pause on having sex because they don't like you. They just want to feel good for a few minutes, and after that, it's a wrap. So if you are not pregnant at this time, pause.
You said they just want to feel good?
They just want to feel good. If that's not the case, then why we got so many single moms? This is
so
crazy.
Many single moms.
So many single.
If I may, wait a minute. If I may on that one for a second. Wait. If I may on that. Wait a minute. If I may on that one for a second, because I think that was a wonderful point that was made. But I want to be clear about something, and I definitely understand where she's coming from. But I think there's a difference. There's a difference between abandoned children and abandoned families and single mothers.
No. I'm talking about women out here working 2 jobs, take care of these children. That's what I'm talking about. And it's not made up. These are, unfortunately, ugly truths that the community does not like to address. Everything is on the women.
But that's what we do here at Open Conversation. We have a conversation about stuff like that. And what I'm saying is, as a father that is a single father that is involved with my children, an abandoned family and single motherhood is different to me. And that's what I'm saying, because I get what you're saying, because I think you're a cold sucker if you get on here, because either if you don't have children or you made children and ain't taking care of them, you abandon your children, and talking about
Right.
the like trying to make a single mother seem downtrodden or whatever. Like you said, if you contributed to that, then good brother, you can't say a whole bunch to me at all. Real talk, because again, and I appreciate y'all that are aware and know what's going on. I'm getting ready to bury my father on Monday, and
Okay.
and I had to tell it's a lot of us. Like when I'm doing the obituary, finalizing the obituary, it's a lot of us by blood and by relation. But the fact of the
Mm-hmm.
matter is, when he was there for everyone. So
Yeah.
I definitely understand what you're saying, and I made sure that if nothing else, if it don't work between me and mama, my daughters, because I have girls, I'm a girl dad, my daughters are not gonna have to look for me, you know, to know what's what. Now, the relationship between the adults that made you, they got to work that out
Mm-hmm.
between themselves. But be there and do what you got to do for your children, and that's why I love the brother. And I haven't seen him posting for a while, so hoping he not caught up with the child support as fraud. Is he says it's not a get out of jail free card, because I'm one of the brothers that have managed to dismantle and get out of that system by standing up and being who I was raised to be and doing what I got to do. And I said, I don't have to be a part of y'all system to take care of my child.
Right.
You're not going to tell me how to govern raising my child. You wasn't there when she was made, laid, or the cord was cut. But just to your point, I definitely agree to what you're saying about the cats that are kind of castigating mothers that they left single, or I won't date a woman with children because of whatever. Then that's your preference, but you don't minimize or marginalize a sister because she got to do what she got to do to take care of her children that the father didn't. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm just saying.
This is putting a black, to me, it's like putting a black eye on the community. And not to say everyone in the community is a single person with children, but when you talk against your own people like that and without any type of resource or any type of way to help them or help them understand how to make better decisions, you're a problem for me. I can't understand this. So now we see all these young men growing up misled, lied to. It's crazy. They lied to because they have no real leadership. If and I said this before, if everybody
So
lead a hood,
where has the leadership gone? Who's responsible for the leadership? We talking about communities.
right.
Where's
I'm gonna
it?
tell you.
So
Who? What?
No, she made a very good point, Doc. What happens is, see, between the legislation, the child care rules, the welfare rules, and government supplement support and all of that, when for different reasons, when a man was disallowed to be in the house because a woman had to get some kind of benefits and she was underemployed, undereducated, or not employed, and she's getting that government system, and those sisters that can't have a man, that can't have an income in the house. That was part of it. That's part of it. Like the queen said, when the men out here marginalizing the sisters, where you made a baby, you're not even there to at least guide your child. You ain't got to be a husband or the significant other, but be there to guide the children. Because it's crazy how she says that, because I'm the exact opposite of what she's talking about, but I'm the one that get looked at crazy. YNs and everybody is worried about out here. No disrespect to anybody that think they got a running gun to do whatever they got to do to live. Whatever God poured over me, these young brothers give me space because they recognize whatever it is when it comes to my energy.
mm-hmm,
Then when I do get a chance to redirect some young men that or young
mm-hmm,
ladies that are acting inappropriate or whatever, for whatever reason that God gave me, they listen. They will at least chill while I'm around. They'll cut it down while I'm around. Yes, sir. You right, sir. You because and again, I'm not saying I'm doing anything special, but I've been doing this with youth so long that I'm the one that's looked at crazy, because I also tell folks, you have to let a man be a man when it comes to taking care and supplying,
right.
instructing, supporting, redirecting, and even reprimanding his family. You come.
Can I
I
Right.
had
play?
to tell.
I
Sorry,
do
go ahead.
agree.
No, go ahead. Cause I want to play devil's advocate for a minute. But go ahead and finish your
Go ahead, simply.
sentence.
We can't hear you.
So can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you do get with a female who has kids, let's say for instance she has sons or a son, and she's like, you can't chastise my son, or you can't say nothing to my son when you're trying to be a man to him and mentor him or discipline him. How does that work? Because that happens a
So
lot.
let me put what I was saying. You don't have to be in a relationship to guide kids. So if you're in a relationship with a person, first of all, that attitude just don't pop up because you get ready to start telling the kids what to do. That attitude is already pre-existing. So if a man sees that, that's not the person that you want to be with. But what I'm talking about is men stepping up in the community, whether you're in a relationship or not. Women too, because we part of the BS. Unfortunately, you can't tell the nurse from the person on the pole because they all look alike when they go outside. At the end of the day, it's about community and helping our children get to a better place, whether you're in a relationship with them or not. Like when I see kids pumping gas and running up to me for change and things like that, I remember I was up at Gerard and Broad Street at the gas station. It was a couple of years ago. And it was like 8 young kids. I'm not afraid of kids because I work with kids just about all my early adult life. So when they came up to me, I was like, y'all want jobs? They was like, yes, please. I felt really bad. I posted something on Facebook. I didn't have the information to give them to get jobs. So you had kids between the age of 13 and 17. One boy had his teeth knocked out. I gave that boy a hug. I didn't say, here, take, I gave him what I had, but I was like, y'all be careful. So I went back into the store and I said, why don't y'all hire them to clean up the parking lot? These are the things that our men in the community can do with these stores that allow a whole bunch of BS around them. Why don't you get the kids a little job? You know what I mean? Like to help keep the community up. But the kids want guidance. It's the trust factor that's not available. Are you going to do what you say you're going to do with these teens? Are you going to be around when they need you? And sometimes they just need somebody to talk to, and somebody to trust, and to do what you say you're going to do. And you don't have to be in a relationship to do that.
They got all these programs out here, and these programs is doing nothing. Programming, listen, the kids need the boots or when, as they say, when the rubber meets the road, they need the boots in the street. We all talk about programs, but programs no longer exist. We had Job Corps. We had Youth Build. We had the Boys and Girls Clubs. A lot of these programs gave kids hope and aspiration. Now, we don't have that. So the kids ain't got none of that. But I just had to say one thing, Dimitri. You said Broad and Gerard. No, you said Gerard and Broad. It is Broad and Gerard. You said Gerard and Broad. I need you to put it back in the hood complex. You said where they coming from. So who now creates the programs?
It would be up to us. We would have to be the ones. Like I don't want to go to the government for anything because they always mess it up. And that's whether it's state, local, they mess it up. So I'd rather for us as a community get together and figure out how we can help the youth, because right now our youth are going to be left behind. It's an IT society right now. You got people on, and unfortunately, social media is the new television. So they're being programmed with a bunch of idiots. Most of the people that's on social media, the entertainers that they have, probably remedial.
Right. So social media is their socialization. So where are the men? Do we hold the men responsible? Do we hold the women responsible? Do we hold the community as a whole? We didn't even tap on this. Where do the churches fit in this?
Not just the churches, the masjids too. All of them.
Masjids too. Where do the churches fit in? Where do the masjids fit in? Where do the synagogues fit in?
Right.
You got too many people worrying about the bottom. Worrying about the bottom dollar, how much money they can get for this and for that. So they're not concerned about doing things in the community because they're worried about lining their pockets with money.
You are absolutely 100% right, D. You are absolutely 100% right.
But one thing we have to realize though is that it's been going on so long then it's kind of hard to redirect the children. We got to come up with a game
System, the
plan
Sixers.
to redirect the children to go to these programs because there's some programs out there. Because I see some of the things going on, but we don't promote them enough. We too busy watching when the next time Beyonce concert coming to Philly or who Jay-Z sleeping with and stuff like that instead of, and I'm just using them as an example, instead of promoting and highlighting the
Take the
things
next
that's
left on
important like
East
that.
Philomena Street.
Right.
Right. It's several things you can do. We may not be able to tackle everything at one time, but we come up with a plan and just do a checklist and just check the list off. And we do what we can. And those who will come will come. We can help those who want to be helped. But I'm gonna say this: after working with kids, I started working with children when I was in my early 20s. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've worked with some and been around some really unfortunate children.
Turn right onto Cheltenham Avenue.
And you, one-on-one, I'm gonna tell you something. One-on-one, them kids are not like y'all think they are. They used to call me up and like, your favorite child acting up, you know. It's not, you get them one-on-one and talk to them. The problem is I can talk to them and they'll be good for that day. But when they go outside, they're gonna be met with an adult that's about that bullshit.
Turn right up to
All
Cheltenham.
right, I need you to do me. I need you to do one favor for me, real quick,
I'm
not to
sorry,
cut you off.
bull crap.
Cut. No. Cut your GPS off because everybody don't need to know where you're going.
I'm trying to do that. It's not yours,
Or
it's mine.
mute it.
Remember,
Oh,
I
it's
told
yours.
you
Or mute
6:30. I
it.
was jumping in the
Mute your
car and I'm
phone.
driving. But
Mute your phone
and
until you
saying
talk.
that, I'm gonna say it is now 6:30, and you are tuned in with Sador Presents an Open Conversation. We are talking tonight about communities. What is a community? Who's responsible for a community? Does the community look like it used to look, or is it different?
It's crazy.
It's definitely
We
different.
I'm gonna say it's way different. And you know, like, and unfortunately, like I said, social media is the new television. So you'll see more people tell these kids or tell other men or other women not to invest in their own people, to steer away from their own people. But you don't see people talking
What
about
does this have to do with that? That's
What was the daggone think of?
community.
That's what I was looking to do. Come on.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
So what I would like to see is more promotion of growing your own food, learning how to build, like things like that. That's going to put our people in a different mindset. Our whole, you know, what they classify the culture as, this whack ass rap music and them girls out there shaking their behind, talking about, well, that's the culture. That is not Black culture. That's whole culture. That's not Black culture. Our culture is about taking care of each other, learning, investing in one another, building. We don't. It's. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. What I'm saying is, we have to get together. We can't look for the government. We can start small, and whoever we can help, we can help. I've done it singularly, and I've done it with other people as well. But it's time to take our children back away from what government is having them do, away from TikTok and what else they have out there. What else? Instagram and Snapchat and now, you know, and Facebook. Let's remove them away from that and give them something else to do. But, and this is my last thing, but I'm saying to the guys, the young people that's outside, let the kids come outside. The park is not for y'all to smoke weed, shoot, and all that. That's not your playground. The playground is for the children. And if you there, you need to stop. And this is to a grown men taking over where the kids supposed to be. And all right, I'm done.
Unmute yourself, Doc. So let me ask you something. You said that you did that before with a group of people, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what happened? What was the outcome? Let me ask you that first. Like what happened with it?
We had a entrepreneurship program in the high school where people were lending their time to go out to speak to the youth. It was really good too, and it helped the kids start business. Actually, it was a good program. The leaders and the owners had moved away. And I think this would have happened, but we were in the high school. We had data to support what we were doing. We had outcomes. We had a goal that we were trying to achieve, And we were in that school, I think, for 2 to 3 years doing entrepreneurship. So, like,
So why
and it
did
was all.
how
Mhm,
is it that we can do it? Not to cut you off. How is it
mhm.
that we can go about it to implement that back into effect?
Well, that's going to take another hour, but it's not as hard as it is because I don't like to give away my intellectual property. But
No. Just
but
give it like let me help you out because I know what you're saying. So
okay.
how about and this is an example, like hypothetically, if you grab
Mhm,
people from South Philly, North Philly, West Philly, Northwest, Germantown, all that, you grab a group of individuals and you start having
Unmute
meetings and
me.
mhm,
everything, and then move forward. I can hear you, Dart, and move forward with it that way. Like I think it's about
mhm,
somebody coming up with a game plan and then getting other individuals that feel the same way and then execute it.
mhm.
You know what I mean?
Actually,
That
have social. I already have that social capital
right,
available to do something like that. I wouldn't lead it. I don't like to. I like to support it. I don't want to lead it because I have other things, but I do support those things, and I am available. My time is available. Only reason why I say I don't lead it because I don't like to disappoint people. But I
right.
have let my brain and my time to make sure things are fully functioning. So I do have the social capital, and I may have the location of a meeting as well. So one is a male, one is a female, and the male he wanted to do it to get together with a group of people to talk about how we could help the youth, but let the youth lead it. And that was part of the entrepreneurship plan, was letting the youth
Right.
be in charge and have them show them how to start a business, have them open up clothes. It was the whole plan was written out very well for them to, like, if, say for example, let's have them open up for something like a corner store or a small mini mart. The kids were going to be the ones running it. They were going to be the managers, the cashiers, the staff, the ordering. We were going to show them how to do everything. So
And that's great. Make
yeah,
sandwiches?
Hmm.
Okay.
no, no, not make sandwiches. No, they were
No,
going to
I
be
said if you
doing.
got a corner store and you're going to teach them how to do everything, somebody's going to want to cook. Somebody's want to go do the flyer. Somebody's going to be the cashier. Somebody's going to be the stock. Somebody's going to clean up. It should be some food popping off in the back. Teach them how to
No,
slice meat. They need it
right,
all.
right. Right, right. So we were talking. I was like I was on the mini mart side of it, like running a
Oh,
small
okay.
grocery store neighborhood because we don't have that in these neighborhoods. We don't show our kids how to grow their own food. We're not showing our kids how to build. We're not sure. Some of the kids now they're in the automotive, which is good. I love that. Anything that you could do with your hands is great. Um, so we were on the side of like opening up a business or a shop where so they would run it from the front to the back. We would have to have a coordinator supervise them, but having the kids run it, they would do the hiring, they would do the the firing, just showing them how to run things. We would teach them economic development, not just going to the bank, how to make money work. All that was part of this plan. And when you instill those things in a child when they're young, when they get out of high school, if they don't want to go to college, they already have a cheat sheet to what they want to do in life. I'm not
Sure.
Right.
sure if schools are doing that, but we need to force them. And one of my friends, his name is Bill. I don't know if he's going to watch this. He told me, if you don't have the money, get the people. So when we show up,
Right.
the community has to show up. We have to read. Please, I beg you to read. And I'm going to say this very clearly. If it's too easy, read why. If it
So
sounds
what is the
good, read
community? You keep saying the community has to show up. This is the whole
the
topic of open conversation tonight. What is
okay.
the community?
The the community is the people that live in the houses in those neighborhoods that they have children that are still going to school, or if they have a store around the corner, whatever. If it's in your neighborhood, that community, whether it's black, white, Latino, if it's negatively affecting your environment, you have to show up in a mass amount of numbers to shut it down. We can no longer walk around with our heads down. I always feel like I am in the army of one person because I don't mind. I will make a couple phone calls and I do get results. However, one person can't make it last. So as a community of everyone, men, women, anyone over 18-year-olds who has a voice that can, and I'm not talking about voting. I'm talking about if you see something in your environment that is wrong, get together and shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
We are preyed upon. I don't understand why we don't see this. We are preyed upon by other people, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna point it out. The Black community, and probably even the Latino community, the only communities I can go in and see hookah, weed, 24-hour stores open all, corner stores open all night, stuff that cause uncivil behavior. We are preyed upon. We can move out to the suburbs, and if they know Black people out there, here they come with the BS merchandise. We gotta stop participating in stuff that affects us negatively. It's affecting our health, it's affecting our well-being, and we have to read. It's not gonna come through social media. It's not gonna come through the news. You have to figure out why they made that change. You gotta figure out why AI is so easy. Why everybody was why and I have to be careful when we're what I'm saying is if it sounds too good to be true, read it. Look it up.
So,
Don't take anybody's
Mr.
word.
Storm, you come from a
No,
different era. Are you seeing what she's seeing?
Say that one more again. I'm sorry, y'all.
I said you coming from the same era, a different era. Are you seeing what she's seeing? Because
With
for
planning,
me, a generation, for me, a community is anybody. You
mhm,
don't have to directly be in my neighborhood to be a part of my community because a lot
right,
of 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 people will come and support your community and don't be from your community. You get people from New York to come down and support your cause. You get people from Jersey to come and support your cause. That they
right.
are considered your community. Is those
That's
that
right.
I believe that rally around your cause are a part of
That
your
rally around your
community.
cause have a common mind, a common link, and a common think is what I call it.
Right.
Because I said you wanna see what a community looks like. Be down Broad and Cecil B. Moore down Dilworth Plaza when them young folks decide they want a flash mob. Their networking
Right.
system is so
And they are a community.
obvious and intricate that they have the city of Philadelphia on their heels when they put their minds to being somewhere. Now, don't get me wrong, we get the information and we start to proactively put things in place, but their system of communication and how they get so many people. Now, don't get me wrong, they're using their power for not so good when they're doing those things, but they have a tool, a way of using it, and a common think that allows them to come together, quote unquote, in a flash and meet somewhere, put it out on Wednesday, on Friday, we meet in that city hall and we going, yeah, I mean, they all know what that means. And guess what? They Yamin on Friday down City Hall
Right.
or
So
at
Mark
Broad and
Five,
Cecil B.
do you consider them to be a community? These flash mobbings.
No,
They got
I don't.
together for a common goal.
Yeah.
And I want to say, hold on, Mark, and I want to say
But
something for D, and I keep because I never ever want to discount anybody's experience. Excuse me. But one thing I have to remind folks, I've been working with youth for over 40 years. That's what I know. I know how to work. My patience is thin as hell with grown-ups because just as simply as Dark asked that question of, do we think they're a community? Her pause, her pause shows the adult in her that made her think about the answer before. Because again, your community, their community might not be what our community is in the same
Absolutely.
look, act, and think. That's what makes it a community. That's why I said back
Right.
in the day, we were communities because we acted the same way, we thought the same way, and we looked the same way. Because, like I said, we could pass bread, eggs, salt, water, butter, all up and down the block, babysitting, chores. Oh, all the children is at such and such house. Because I will never forget the monthly bus trip when everybody left from Geno's at the parking lot of Geno's on 15th and Columbia to go to AC or whatever. So we was all at Miss So and So house because that's where the oldest teenagers were that wasn't old enough to go to AC, but was responsible enough to keep us in line. and had 12 of us from the block in this one house. Yeah, we was noisy. We was acting a fool, playing tag, playing music, playing Mother May I inside the house or out front. But that's what our community looked like. And as much as we may not want to believe it, that's what makes the community is the common thread between them that have them moving in the same direction, whether good, bad, or well, I can't say indifferent because they have the same goal. Like all the stuff that they keep trying to hide with the Epstein files. That was a community of sexual molesters, child molesters,
Absolutely.
traffickers, and mostly financiers. Guess what? It's a terrible community in our eyes, but
Right.
we wasn't the ones in there with the money doing those unthinkable things with young children. But in their community,
Absolutely.
that's just the norm. So let's not get caught up in whether we would do it or not that makes it a community. The fact that it happens and it has so many people on the same plane and wavelength and mindset moving in the one direction. Because, like I said, their planning is more intricate than most grown folks trying to get something like what we're talking about: a
Mm-hmm.
business plan, a plan of action, a financial plan. Because I'm always say that's where our biggest problem comes in. Anytime you
Mhm.
get brothers and sisters trying to get something done, it's all who got the most or the least money or who got the most or the least fame in it. So when egos get involved, that's why most of our shit fails. Excuse my language. That's why
Yep.
most of our opportunities fail because nobody says this is for the greater good. It's not about me. It's about all of us doing something for the next all of us so that people from Jersey can get on, so people from Delaware can get on, so that people from South Carolina can get on. It's where we lose that traction when it comes to community and when we try to do business because at some point, business amongst our people always turn into NIGGA business.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree.
But
I agree.
from other people, their businesses don't run that well. It's just that we expect more from ourselves. I can go in a couple of other businesses. I can name them, but I'm not. That I have been totally disappointed. Totally disappointed. So it's not about the it's not GGA business. It's about the person or the people who believe what they're doing is right. That as far as business goes, because I've been in a couple places where I'm just taking the back, and they wasn't because it ain't that many black businesses out here. So 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 we
That's
can't.
that's
So we
why.
we
Like
I,
what
and
he
I
said.
also urge us to be careful our, our businesses because when you go into a black business with that thought mindset, you're going to look for the mistake. And when we patronize businesses every day to make mistakes every day, your cell phone company makes a mistake every day. Wawa makes a mistake. They all make mistakes. So when it comes to us, we got to remember it could be what you said in the ignorant business practices, but a lot of us haven't had the opportunity to learn it the right way. So when they're opening up a business, they're only going off what they know. We all start from somewhere, but if they keep going and they take advice, it'll be to something. But it's some individuals that do bad business and some don't. But I can name most of the businesses I go to. I can name that there's some issues.
Well, I
So
think a
what?
lot of it got to do with gatekeeping. I think we as African Americans, and I can only speak for us because I'm African American, we got a lot of people
Mm,
that gatekeep and don't want to
Hmm.
educate you. That don't want to educate you because they don't want to see you win, or they don't want to give you that show dark because they might think that you might kill it better than me instead of
But
Right.
applauding, hoping
but
that you kill it because I'm
but
putting you in position.
but what happens there, Mark?
Right.
Me and you have this conversation more than once. Somebody like Duck, right? Somebody else don't want to give her the show.
Hmm.
It's not enough.
mm,
It's not enough of us to put our heads together to give her her own show.
How
There
about
you
that?
go.
yeah,
There you
You see what
go.
I'm saying?
she
So that's what I'm saying. And
does.
I think when I say in our GGA business, I'm not saying that there aren't success. There's plenty of successful black businesses. I'm looking at how many of us are on here. One, two, three, four, five. There's five successful black businesses right here. What it
Hmm.
is
Mhm,
we're not incorporated with each other. What it is we're not a
mhm,
conglomerate with each other. They are plenty of business. I have several business partners that I also work with, thus how I'm able to put the content that I put out, thus that I'm able to make the executive producer credits that come to sort. Now moving into another aspect of my talent career that I own, that when I put my stamp on that, that's also from my company because my company's biggest resource is me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get with a Marc 5, when I get with a Dark Child, when I get with a Simply D, when I get with those other companies and those other companies that we start investing in each other and start building, and then what we need to do is like the other people do. Let's get our paperwork together. Let's come up with our corporated name all together, and it houses all of these businesses. Then when the other people say, "Damn, I got a small business. Why don't we incorporate?" Da-da-da-da-da-da?" Because I said, if we think that SKG stands for still getting guns, absolutely not. That's Spielberg, Kellen, and Geffen. And what
Mm-hmm.
happens
Right.
is all those people putting their money together to get other people to put their money in so that they could keep eating off everybody else's money. But we, and I say we generally, like to wear our wealth, where other people are invested in their wealth for generation. We talk about generational wealth. Let's talk about generational health. Let's talk about everybody say they want to live to see such and thus and so, but do you really? Because are you dieting like you want to live to see such and so and so? Are you taking your medications to live like? Are you treating people? Because that's also a thing. How you stress yourself from your interpersonal engagements with people as well. And when people
Right.
don't take an opportunity to jump on an open conversation or something similar and actually listen to people that actually know what they're doing and talking about, we might not have $10 million for branding, merchandising, distribution, and advertising, but there's a plethora of wealth. There's $10 million worth of game here. It's just a matter of how
That's
we
right.
put it together to put it out for those other people to get on board. It's like, yo, we need to link up with them because they on to something, and we are. And that's why I say
All
it's
right,
five
TC,
successful. Yes,
we on this hour. Give us
we on
our
the hour. Okay.
give us our disclaimer.
Hmm. You are now listening to the Open Conversation Podcast Show, hosted by Marc 5, Dark Child, and all the coaching companies that we have in between. Any opinions and valued opportunity to hear what you hear are those of the individuals, not of any organization, Greek organization, social Greek organization, social economical association, or just opinions of those that are listening and make them themselves. Anything else is not utterly guaranteed. So enjoy the show and enjoy yourself because we're not going to help you responsible. We cannot be held responsible for your inner thoughts. Peace.
So what he basically said is we said what we said because we felt like saying it. So basically, he said what we said and we felt like saying it.
and
So
that's and that and that's that.
and that's it. So drop the comments below. Drop the comments on our YouTube people. Drop the comments on our YouTube. You're almost at the top of the hour. It's almost 7 o'clock. We on here each and every third Thursday. Right? Each and
Question,
every
Doc.
third Thursday. First and third. Go ahead, boo boo.
You actually got who was on here that's younger than us? Wasn't somebody on here that's younger than us last time?
Are you
Is
talking
he
about
on here tonight?
Yes.
talking about
No,
no, he
she's
not
not here
on.
today.
Talking about
Me.
Nick at night.
Nick at night.
Yeah,
Nick
I
at
wanted
night is
to know
definitely not on here.
his perspective on things as far as for his age group and what they see. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I probably look crazy on the thing, but
All right, no, you don't. You look
never
like a
mind. That's
woman
a
who
day.
feels what she feels and knows what she knows. So here's what we do. The next
No,
time we'll jump back on, then we at the top of the hour, we'll just ask him what he feels like because he's gonna listen to it. We ask him because we definitely need his perspective. What does community look and feel like to him? What's the makeup of his community? It's a good question. Anytime, and that's the purpose of open conversation, because if it makes you still think beyond what we've just said, then we have accomplished our goal. We are
That's
trying
right.
to create conversation. That's it.
That's what
It's
open.
about
It's
conversation.
called educating
So
through conversation. What is it? Entertaining.
educating,
What is
entertaining.
entertaining
What
and
is it, Simply
educating?
D? Tell us,
Yeah.
Simply D, what we doing?
Let's see if he
You know, he
unmute.
always got his spiel.
Yeah.
He
He
be like
said
educating, enlightening,
and entertaining. There you go.
and
That's what
entertaining. There
that's
you
what it
go.
is. No,
So
but
we here.
that's what it's about. Having a conversation.
Right.
Some of us agree, some of us don't agree, but it's a conversation that make you think, make you research and go back and try to really think about what we're talking about. I'm gonna try to get some younger people on next show so we can ask that question and then we can touch
Same question.
on.
What does community
I
look
mean,
like to them?
yeah.
Because here's a good valid point that we hit. Even the flash mobbers, they
Mm-hmm.
are a community.
It's,
So we got to find the head of that. You know, they said if you cut the head off, the body will follow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the body will fall.
yeah,
Yeah, we on
So
the
TC,
same
we
page.
got to
you
find
catch me
out
on
where the
something because I
root,
never looked at it like that.
Yep. Go ahead,
where the
Yeah,
Dark, because
root
you
of this
great
is
say what
at.
you great Dark, you great say what I was great say. Go ahead, say what you were saying.
Yeah, we because even though right or wrong, good or bad, they are a community. Now
Mm-hmm.
their community is just up to no good, or we just like how they act and perceive. But to them, they are a community. Sneakerheads, their community. Flash mobs, their community. The rappers, their community of people. Artists, tattoo artists, poets,
Blood,
to them,
Crips,
yep,
all of them is
Bloods,
the
Crips,
community.
all of them, they are a
Yeah.
community within
Right.
whatever. So we have to acknowledge that and know that what our definition of a community look like, because mine looks like yours. It looks like the mother, a lot of single moms, a lot of aunties on the block, a lot of older ladies, and some husband and wives that's married. They wasn't, the husband went out and worked. That one lady did the babysitting all on the
Yep.
block. It was the churches, it was the nurses, it was the crossing guards, it was the mailman, because the mailman knew everybody up and down the block. He stopped
And the
and talked,
maintenance
he or
man.
she
Yep.
stopped and talked to everybody. So
Yep.
Mhm.
that was my mailman was a part of our community. The local neighborhood clinic. That doctor, everybody knew Dr. King off of Chew and Show. That was a part of our community. The man at CVS, the cleaners man, because everybody ran their clothes to the cleaners. The cleaners man, Mr. Curtis, he was our community. So
You're right.
Hey,
everybody's
Dark, you ever go to
definition of
you
a
ever go to Young
community.
Life, Dark? Did
No,
you ever go to Young Life on Shelton Avenue in the
no,
church? No? Okay,
uh-uh.
I was just curious. It's right off of Germantown and Shelton. Because a bus used to
No.
come up Abbotsford and get us and take us there, and they used to have basketball and stuff like that. So that's one thing I like about something that we said is that how it don't have to be the person in the community. It could be somebody outside of the community that's involved
Right.
in helping the community. And that's something that I just thought about when you was just talking. Because I know we
So we
always
got
Can
to
I
use
reinforce what community looks like.
right.
can I can I elaborate off of what TC was talking about when you said about
Yeah.
corporations
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
he's definitely 100% right. But some people are not everyone is a business person. So what I see is okay. So like TC, he starts something right, and like you'll start maybe let's say a computer business. I don't know anything about it, but because I can, I'm going to start a business instead of going in and saying, you know what, TC, I don't know how to do this, but this is what I have to offer, and I can help you do this. Like I can look at your finances, I can help, with whatever. You know what I'm saying? What happens with us, I see with Black people, what I see is no, and I'm not talking about support like tuning in. I'm talking about there's no assistance with helping that person get to where they want to be. And also, sometimes when the person has the funds, they don't want to pay for the help. What I see, like with my next door neighbor, it was my old neighbor told me she sold the house and 20 people, they're Vietnamese, it's hard for me to say that, showed up to the signing. So I watched what they
Mm.
did. Let me tell you what they did. When they bring their family over, they already have a car for them. They already have a house for them to stay in. So when they come, they're already set up. So they bring them over gradually, and they're not sitting around collecting government money like some people think. They're working. They go fishing.
Mm-hmm.
They brought the grandfather over. Grandfather has buckets, and he went out and picked some stems up off the street.
You froze. You froze, Demetrius.
Yeah,
We
you
don't hear you.
froze.
We heard stems off the street.
Stems off the street. But it is now 7 o'clock and you're tuned in to open conversation. So unless she come unfrozen, we out of here.
Yeah, we great in the
So
show.
end
Anybody
the
got
show
anything?
anyway. So
Let's go
anybody
around the table.
anywhere. This is your girl, Miss Darkchild. I'm on my way to downtown to bless these folks with these jokes. So your girl is out of here because I got to do that time before the show to get my head right.
Hmm.
I love y'all all. Peace.
All
You
right,
know
Have
good
a
what?
night.
good
I'm
show.
out.
Have a good show,
So
Doc.
Thanks. All right.
Go
Great
ahead,
show,
Demetrius.
Doc.
What was you
have a,
saying?
have a good show. So what I think is what I've seen is the arrogance and not wanting to help each other get to that level. That's what I see. Because a lot of people are not going to be business people. I don't want you to start a business if you don't know that. That's not your gift. But you may have something to offer a person who's in the business to get to where they need to be. And that's one thing I don't see us doing.
Okay.
Whether it's
May I say something, Queen?
Go ahead, T.
sure.
She further back and doubled down and reestablished my point about NIGGA business. That's NIGGA business. When you have
What's
knowledge
that?
and don't share it, no. When you have knowledge and don't share it, when you have
Oh,
resources,
okay.
you see what I'm saying? When you have knowledge and don't share it, when you gatekeep, when
Mhm.
you have resources, when you refuse to invest, because I'm gonna say it as a talent, and I'm gonna say
Mhm.
this right here, right now. I definitely appreciate when Mark calls and um wants to utilize me for something because I am a business and I have
Mhm.
overhead. I have things that have to be paid for. My business
Correct.
licenses initially, my taxes on my business, my taxes on my income, and what have you. So there's a price when you're getting TC Storm Caldwell or YBH Storm or Stormy Weather because I won't say my government name, but first name T C Caldwell is the person. TC Storm Caldwell, YBH Storm, Stormy Weathers, that's a business. And
Mm-hmm.
when you
Mhm.
want that, you have to pay that cost for the business. And I tell folks, I said I even work my business into you get discounts and you get kind of stuff. You get first customer discounts. You get, you're a referral. Yep, you get a little, you know what I mean? You got a referral. Somebody referred me to you. Okay, yeah, you get a little something off of that because that's our word of mouth. Because how did we become free? We didn't become free because we spent money, but we had a currency. We didn't get free because we was able to advertise. We sang. We used blankets. We had assistance.
Correct.
We had people that put their lives in jeopardy to help us become free. So, who are we to do any different in order to be successful? We are the single most
I think
economically
it's where
stabilizing persons in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We stop spending money everywhere else. We shut down the world economy,
Yep.
the world economy. Why are they going and taking
Mhm.
our resources from Africa, the motherland? And I'm telling people all the time, I'm indigenous. And we can say we all came from Africa. Yes. And I can't trace back to Africa, but I can definitely trace back to North Carolina and Minnesota. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? When we
I
Right.
decide to, like you said, when we decide to learn who we truly are, we are the most intelligent people on this planet. Every time, every year it comes around, they show us more things that we created that were stolen from us, taken from us. Their names were slapped on them because we might not have been able to write the words, but we understood the concept.
yeah.
Right.
But because they worked harder together to keep us out or to take it from us, i.e., music business. This is why I say I know some of the most talented people in the world, but I've been uninvited to a lot of music business rooms because you own your stuff. Before I walked in this door, you're absolutely right. Because if nothing else, even if you don't use my voice, my body, my person, these words I put on this paper are important.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
I'm the voice of this dissemination. I'm the face of dissemination. At the time when I did, I had the body that y'all wanted to put in front of the ladies to make them look at what I was doing while saying these words. Well, I knew that back then with the body, I was more than just a body. I said I'm probably one of the second, if not the third most intelligent person you're gonna have come in here when it comes to this music business stuff. Why? Because I'm the child of a musician where payola, the they put their name on all the songs. Oh, y'all just sing and dance. We'll write the songs. Well, the checks was going to the ones that wrote the songs and did the
Mm-hmm.
music. The singers and the dancers
Mhm.
was getting the pennies. Y'all getting the attention, but they getting the money. I was like, yeah, I thought I was original when I thought about it until I did my research. Ray Charles, Chuck Berry, all those folks that was working and said, no, 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 no. Famous sounds good, but I like wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Only
That's
thing
what.
that only thing about
Go,
that TC is
go, bro.
when we overcharge for services. Like I had somebody tell me now, because I'm trying to get in this book game, which I don't know a lot about. I
Hmm.
had somebody tell me they would help me, but they were going to charge me $100 an hour.
So my question is, are you you're
To do
paying for
what?
the
You went
service?
out.
No, no. You paying for the service or mentorship?
I was paying for the service, which I thought was
Okay.
like,
So I'm gonna say it, and I think that got said by the queen. She said we don't want to pay for it, but whatever it is that your expertise is in, how do you look at them if somebody tells you that they want to pay you half of what you know you're worth for what you are and what you do have expertise in?
but see,
Hey, D,
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
mind. I don't
My
mind
phone,
paying.
my phone went out. What did you say that they charged you for? I apologize. My phone went out. I'm sitting in my driveway. Sorry.
They wanted to charge me $100 an hour just to help me put my book together, or tell me how to go about putting my book together.
So you go to the next person. That's
Huh?
all.
What you say?
And go to the next person. You
Oh
go
yeah,
go to the next person.
that's what I did, because I just thought that was a bit much for somebody who's supposed to be a friend was going to charge me that much.
See. So that
Go ahead, TC. Go ahead,
you
go
just
ahead.
gave that part. See, you just gave that part. This is your friend, and we have to be
Well, so,
mindful of doing business with friends.
right. So let me ask you a question. What do they charge everybody else?
The same thing. That same thing.
Then,
Not that they've gotten any customers, but that's what she wanted to charge.
but wait, hold on, wait. Simply D, I gotta ask this before the queen go. Simply
So,
D,
yeah,
your expertise is cooking, right?
yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So your friend come to ask you to cater something that you charge 1,100 for, and you say, "Yo, it's 1,100." Ah, man, I'm your friend. It's 1,100. How would you? Yes, I'm listening. How would you feel in that space where your expertise for what you do, regardless of how many customers you got?
Go ahead.
Because that's, I'm gonna be honest, that's like somebody telling me, and you know, bro, that's like somebody telling me,
no.
no. I'm just saying, that's somebody somebody telling me, oh, well, how many movies you done? Oh, you want to go there?
Right.
But see, here's my thing.
Yes, sir.
Here's my thing. I would never charge a friend that much, and I never have. I've given friends many discounts.
So that's why you got people like us.
Many discounts.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. Let me jump here. Go ahead.
And then I've had people to come to me because they know how my writing skills are, who expect me to do it for free.
Okay, so let me can I say something? Because Mark knows I've done stuff for free for years. Them days are over.
Yeah, free is over. Free is over. Yeah.
Even discounted is over. Now, I might charge you what I charge everybody else, but I might give you additional stuff. Additional
stuff.
things.
Yeah, so, there you go.
Right. Yep. If I charge you $100 an hour, what I might only do for $100 an hour, as your friend, I'm going to do more than what I normally do for the average person. That's the thing. But when somebody says that, right, tell them to put it in writing. Can you itemize what that looks like? So that way you'll see what they're charging you for. I don't do no agreement on a conversation. It has to be documented. And I have done.
Okay.
So when that person said $100 an hour, you'd be like, all right, let me see what that looks like. And that way they would have cut out all of you thinking maybe they're charging you too much. Or if you
what
go to the next person,
paying for?
For this person to tell me that she wanted to charge me $100 an hour and she got one book out and she ain't even like that, I thought was a bit much. All I needed to know was how she put her book out. That's it. You want to charge me $100 an hour? That's a bit much.
And that's what I'm saying. And I dig where you're coming from, but that's your opinion. She might got people that think she all that with that one book, whoever it is, and that just might be it. I get what you're saying, but I'm like you. Sometimes I have to play devil's advocate because what am I tell my what am I paying for?
But see, right, exactly. But see, don't try to get why try to get over on the next person? You know what I mean? I didn't say I wanted the services for free. That's just like another well-known individual.
But you said this is what she charges everybody.
Yeah, that's what she got nobody. That's why nobody's using it.
And you know what? Some people do that just so they know you're not going to pay for it because they don't really want to do it. Some people just waste your time having
Yeah,
talk.
I
Yeah,
ain't gonna lie.
that
I'm
too.
guilty. I'm
That
guilty
too.
about that because I had
That
people ask
too.
me to do weddings and I ain't want to do it. I was like $800 just to come out, knowing damn well I don't usually charge that. But they're like, "Oh, that's too much."
Right.
Oh, well,
But
because
yo,
I ain't want to do it. Look.
there's another well-known individual who I talked to, and I told him if he could introduce me to somebody, and he wanted 10,000 from the door. I ain't even gonna say his name, but we all know him.
So you just went $10,900 and $9,900 in the hole, bro. You're going backwards.
I ain't use him either.
Well, I've got to the point in life when I ask for something and if it seems like it's not going to fit my budget, I teach myself how to do it. That's how I know how to do so much. I'm one of those people who will research, learn, go
Exactly.
to school,
Yep.
YouTube, Google, and I teach myself exactly what they know. And that way I can charge people a reasonable price at the same time. I
Yep.
know how to do it myself. I ain't got to ask nobody for nothing.
Yep.
So I can do 10,000 books and I ain't got to
And
ask
that works
nobody
for,
to do nothing
and that
because I
and
learn how to
that
do it
and that
myself.
yeah, and that works for certain things because like Simply D said, because you can do it, but now you got to make it consumable.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when the
So
value kicks off. So like you said, you learned it for yourself so that you can now make it consumable and you don't have to ask anybody and be able to monetize it. And that's why I was
Right.
saying with
right.
Tony, because again, book publishing is different.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them
Yeah.
things it's really a network. It's really
Hmm.
networking.
Who you know.
It's really networking.
Yeah.
And that's just one of those things. So until they come up with a concept where like with our music, how we learned, how we
Mm-hmm.
found finally, I ain't gonna say learned how to, because so many people were teaching us ahead of time how to get rid of the middleman.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're not gonna take this music that I wrote, put it in this particular platform and say, oh well, you didn't sing it. That's my work.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Well, you still are signed to us. Right. And that's my work. So when I put my name on that publishing documentation, no matter what you do with my work, I get 25 hundredths to 45 hundredths of a dollar every time it gets put out there.
That's right.
Now, as the artist, I might get 0.2563 hundredths of a dollar to 0.10 point whatever of a dollar until we learned how to monetize. When we learned how to monetize streaming and found out, oh, that ain't no real help either. Because if you don't
Mm-hmm.
own the platform, you up
They
shit creek.
control you.
Because
Yeah.
it take you a million doggone spins on streaming to get $10.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm glad you brought up music because that's a community issue too. I'm sorry.
Shit is.
No, it is.
It is. Couple of things with the music. First of all, this new music is just trash. It's just bad. It's, it's bad. It has no sustainability. Unfortunately, people don't know enough that they're being used for right now. They're not. It's not sustainable. So, but as far as what I see, and I'm not going to say this person's name. This person came from the city. They sat on a platform and said, "I am not going to show you how to do it because you might take my space." Like you said that, right, TC, or was it you, Mark?
Yeah. One of us said
Yes.
it, but go
Yep.
ahead.
What my concern is this: your majority audience is from the inner city. You know the income bracket from the inner city. So when you make it, you still shooting them a bunch of bullshit and you showing them all this money you got. But my question is, why are you showing poor people you driving around in an Aston Martin? Who are you talking to? And why are you still encouraging people, mostly the audience is young, to do the latter instead of doing better? That's the concern I have as far as community. I think they're remedial. I think some of them artists are remedial because you have people that come from the inner city. They're being used by the conglomerate. They talk about murder, kill, shoot, sex, suck, dick, this, that, shake your ass, all that other foolishness. They're pouring that negativity back into our neighborhood. And y'all want to know where the flash mob come from? Because they're not being poured into. They're being, we say they're being taken away from. Somebody say you take from the cup, but they don't fill the cup back up with positivity. So now we see all these entertainers, and you can turn it on right now. Look what I got. Look, I'm flashing this. I'm doing all that. And you're telling this to people who don't have money, because the people around you, they got the same shit. So why you got to show us that? And then if the guy from the hood didn't get out like you did, you calling him stupid. It's a cycle of foolishness. So the guy who wants to get that, he's gonna go out, instead of doing it the slow way, he's gonna go out and do it the fast way, and he's gonna wind up in jail, and then he's gonna come out and he's gonna rap about it. That's the root of this bull stuff. It's not. It's not. No. It's no secret to how this stuff is going on. It's right there. We got the cheat sheet. It's right there in our faces. What we didn't have back then, we didn't have those visuals back then. The only time we got to see how somebody was living was Lifetime or Rich and Famous. That's about it. Other than that, how many times you could tell you see growing up somebody flashing their car, their jewelry, their diamonds, and all this to poor people? Why are you? Why are you poor people about their
Mm-hmm.
You ain't teaching. You're not showing them how to grow food. You're not doing anything that's of any sustainability. What you are doing is continuing to push the machine of ignorance to your own people. So it don't necessarily have to be drugs. Now you're pushing ignorance. You traded one
So I
deviant
think
behavior to another one. Nobody.
so I think before we end the show, I ain't know it was that late. But before we end the show, I want to jump on that statement that you said. I think what we need to do is, just like you build that type of community, like TC was saying, and all these different communities, we would have to build a community to push the opposite of what you just brought to the table. That's all that is. You got to get the people that's like yourself, like-minded, like yourself and TC and Simply D, myself and Miss Darkchild, have to start building our own community of people that can make, beg to differ. I guess I'll put it that way. You know what I mean? And that's just something that, it's kind of hard for people like ourselves because we're so busy trying to live life, dealing with the health, dealing with people, children, family, work, bills, this, that, this is so
Fix it.
much that we do. So it's like you have to surround yourself with a bunch of people so the things that I lack, say, Mr. John can pick that part up. Well, I know you got a lot going on. I'm off this week. I'll pick up and get the flyers, or I'll get the community thing. Or I can't do the food because I got my mom's wedding. All right, cool. I'll do that part. You have to get a team of people that's not going to be gatekeepers, but that's going to move together as a community unit to move towards whatever direction that we're trying to go. That's the way you go about that, because we so busy looking at all the other things, and we talk about all the other things that's taken away from our community, that you have to get a bunch of people out here to start building up the community. And it's not going to happen overnight, but then you have to get also the Congress, and that's a whole nother show, but you have to get the people that's the senators and all that to help with the movement, because they know the powers that be to give the permits and different things and unity days and all that. So it just has to be that type of environment. And we have to, again, like I said earlier, we have to show more of that instead of seeing this. You know what I mean? But on that note, it's 7:22. We went 22 minutes over, but this was a good show, good conversation, on open conversation. Make sure y'all check us out the first Thursday of December. Again, we hope y'all like the show. We hope that y'all like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. To all the people that's on Facebook, please make sure you share. Y'all can still put comments underneath the post, because I know we're going to revisit and we can answer or talk about it next show, or we can just comment on the questions or answers that you put under this post. TC, Simply D, I appreciate y'all. Dimitri, thank you for jumping on again, being a special guest. Y'all got anything before we log off? Anybody there? Anybody there?
We
No?
still here, baby. You know
Everybody?
what it is. Let me put some light
I'm
on him
here.
right there. Let's put some light on him right there.
All
Y'all know
right.
what it is. It's your big homie TC. YBH Storm. Peep this right there. You see that right there? That's one of many. That's one of many. Y'all see these people that's on here? That's a few of several.
Alrighty then.
And there's a several of a millennia of us out here doing what we do. What we have to do is be the canvas and go out and get the painting. We got to get the painting. We got to get the sharing. We got to get the communicating. You want to see different in our communities, we have to promote differently. So we might not appease and get to everybody, even the Lord and Savior, whichever one you serve, didn't appeal to everybody, and that's why we have religion. But when you deal in spirituality, when you are of the same mind, when you are of the same heart, when you are of the same thinking, you'll get so many things accomplished. So don't let it be misunderstood that we can't disagree. We can disagree, but if we're trying to reach a common goal, we will all find a way to come together and build that thing. And that's from your big homie Storm. Y'all know what it is. Holla at your big homie, always around. You can find me on Instagram on Storm_E_Weathers. Spend it with a Z. That way you know you got it right. If you on TikTok, same joint Storm_E or TC Storm Caldwell, or just on Facebook if you still old and don't do nothing else but Facebook, TC Caldwell / Stormy Weathers is the fan page. TC Caldwell, holla at your big homie. He always around. We do this like we're doing it for TV because we are from PHI, LA, period. Y'all knew what it
Simply
is.
D.
We have to start working together as a community, as a whole body, and not trying to stop with the mindset that if we help this person, they're going to be more successful than I am.
Correct.
You can be as successful as the person that you help. You help someone get successful, that only pushes you up more. So that's the way I look at it. Stop being selfish and start trying to build things in the community with each other. The man Simply There can be reached at simply24d@gmail.com.
All right. Dimitri, you good?
Yeah, no, my phone kept going out. So what I wanted to end it with is it's time for us to start investing back in ourselves in every way imaginable, especially in our youth. I know it may look like it's a hopeless situation, but the children, the song is right. The children are our future, and we need to show them an example. We can't be one way, can't speak one way and do another thing. We have to be physically who we are and who we say we are. We have to show up and be present. We can't talk. We have to stop talking against ourselves, talking against our men. The men stop talking against women. Women stop talking against men, and stop thinking children are disposable. What we see now is from the affect of us or the conglomerate of those people that are on social media. Like I said earlier, social media is the new TV. Not putting products into our children. Prime example, what just happened to that lady and her children on the way home this week. Children see things, we adults show children things they shouldn't see, and that's how they are responding. So I'm going to leave it like that. Just everyone, just try to take care of yourself. Be a little bit more kind to each other. Life is short, and we can do better with investing social capital to each other. You don't have to give money. Sometimes all you need to do is give time.
Or knowledge? This your boy Marc 5. Thank you for tuning in. We catch y'all in
Yep.
December. Y'all make sure y'all enjoy y'all family time with each other. Be safe. Make sure y'all check y'all fire alarms and fire extinguishers too.